Hi guys, Tricia here. Thanks for tuning in to Tuesday's Tips and Tricks. Today I'm going to be making a card with you. It might go on a little bit, but it's to do with scrap busting. So I've got this kind of half scrap piece of the in colour Pretty Peacock. And I also have, I keep forgetting the name of that. It is, oh, I forgot the name. What's the name of that new one? Cocoa Rose. And then we have the card base, which is this is the one I can't get a hold of because it's on back order and I can't remember the name. I'll link it all below anyway. So basically it's a 4 1/8 of an inch card by 5 6/8 of an inch. I have got a white whisper white layer. And I need to cut that down actually. Now I'm going to cut that down to 1/4 of an inch shorter than the card base. So, oops. And the reason I'm cutting it down that much is because I want to show off the card base in the background like that, and I want to see a little pop of colour. So that is perfect. Need a little more wee squidge off the end again. Sorry. Don't know what's happening with my number crunching today. Right. That's about perfect. Awesome. That's more even. That's perfect. Now, what I'll do is I'll put the card base to the side and I shall show you what I'm going to do. Now, I'm using these two colours because I think they're absolutely fabulous, and I want to use a Pretty Peacock as my main colour. So if I just grab that, and I'll show you what stamp I'm going to use. I'm going to use Here's to Strong Women, and I'm going to put a sentiment in the middle. Now, depending on the size of your card, oops, I've got this in upside down, it's all stuck to the back. Will depend on what size of stamp you want to use. Let me just get these out because that's annoying me. Just fix them back. So what I was wanting to do is, I always normally put my cling stamps in like that, and then they don't stick to that actual package. What I want to do is, now I had originally wanted to use this one. Yeah, I think I will use that. It's quite big. But you know what, that's fab. Right, so let me sample it on first. So, I'm a bit messy today, I do apologise. Right, so if I ink that up, make sure it's all covered. Right, put that in the centre. And I need to kind of lean over it slightly to get it in the middle. Kind of in the middle. There we go. How awesome is that? So that's my sentiment on. And basically all I want to do now is tidy my ink away before I drop something in it. Is get my trimmer out. And I want to trim up some 1/4 inch strips of both the Pretty Peacock and the Cocoa Rose. Now I won't need a lot of strips because, like I say, the card, most of the card front is actually covered by a sentiment. But I'm going to cut a few, and then I could always go back to it later if I run out of the one colour. Now make sure you're cutting the paper the same direction, so my script writing's going up. Look how pretty that is. Hang on, focus, there we go. And then the back is gorgeous as well. If you were using the back, you'd probably need bigger strips, just purely so that you can show off that DSP. Okay, so this is the second project I've recorded today. I've recorded last week's, well, Saturday past simple stamping, and obviously by the time you get to watch this it'll all be scheduled, etc. But yesterday I really struggled with my project, so once I'm on fire I just like to keep going. Right, now basically all I want to do is I want to decide what side of the DSP I'm going to use. Now I could use either that side, like so, or I could use the script side, like that. Oh, decisions. I think I'll go for the script side. So all I want to do, basically, is get my first layer down. You don't need a lot of glue. Okay, now I want to kind of centre that so that I can see that I'm putting it the right way. Right, so there's my first one. Now again, make sure your writing's the proper way. If you forget, it doesn't matter, but it is nice to have things running the same. So there's our starting point, and all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly put the glue in the corner and simply start attaching my little strips. Okay, now as you get closer to the corner, do use one side because you could recycle these bits once they're cut off, you see. It's kind of like doing a card puzzle, but you're making a card at the same time. As long as it's overlapping, that is absolutely it, and then we're going to trim it off, you see. Right, so, oh, wrong colour, see that? Pay attention, Tricia, pay attention. Now it's just unfortunate there's a tiny little bit there, but you know what, it doesn't matter. You're going to do it right. You can maybe start from this side, working your way back, but I am going to attach a little bit there. Now I'm going to move my card base just to make sure that these are not stuck to my mat. Right, and then I'm going to continue on the bottom half. Now I am going to run out of strips, but it's fine because I will cut them off, like I said, from the other side of the card. Right, so what I'm going to do is just trim. See what I'm doing? I'm just trimming them off so I can get my other bits added on, like so. Smashing! Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that was simply from a few strips of DSP. So that's great. Kenzie, could you shut that door please, darling? So we're almost done. Just layering them up again, like so. Make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. And again, there's a little tiny corner. Oh, I put that on the wrong way. I'm bad. My bad. There's a little tiny corner here that will need trimmed down. So, you get the gist of it. So if I just let that dry a second, I'm going to flip it over and cut off or trim the side that is dry. Like so. And look how fab that is. It's just something different to do, you know. Right. If you're really worried about waste, you could always use these smaller bits here to make a tag to match your card, or you could add them to the inside insert just to keep the theme going throughout your card. And that is the front of my card. So sticky, sticky, sticky. Right, now I'm going to layer that up. Oh, hang on, I've just made it a little bit unstuck there. How awesome. I'm going to layer that up onto my card base. But looking at that, I'm not keen on that being in the background colour. So I am going to change to the Rococo Rose. So give me a wee second, and I'll grab a piece of that. I'll put this bit back in my supply. That will not get wasted, trust me. And it's not Rococo Rose. It's this one that I want. Which is, oh God, I can't believe I've forgotten the name. This is called, I do apologise. Where's the paper colours? This is called, come on, Purple Posy. No, it's Rococo Rose. It's a Purple Posy that I'm missing. So it is Rococo Rose. So if I get my card, and cut it down to 4.1, pop that back in my card pack. 4.1 by 11.5. Now the only reason I cut this down to 11.5 is because this is a European size for the C6 cards and score it at 5 3/4. And I was doing some where I was just simply folding it in half, and then it wasn't fitting in my envelope. So that is the only reason why I cut that down now. So we're going to layer this up on the card base, like so, and just make sure it's centre on your card. You could use a piece of paper to kind of flatten it out. And there we have a finished card for you. How awesome is that? Now in that stamp set, where is it? Where is it? There's other sentiments and whatnot that you can use. And I think I'm going to add a couple of more bits on there because I feel that's a bit plain for me. So I'm going to find my blocks wherever they went. And I'm going to do, you've got this girl, way to go. And I am going to use that colour. Let me see what I've got. I'm going to use the Rococo Rose pink. And that makes it all coordinate fantastically. So I'm going to do that. Way to go. And I'm just going to pop it here at the top. Way to go. You've got this girl. And then I'm going to use this lovely little, what is it now? It's a shouty symbol. So if you want to see something loud in your card, use this and just add it all around your statement, like so. Like that. And I think that looks quite cute. So, thanks for watching. I think I maybe have went overkill on my stamping, but I think it still looks nice. And yeah, the main aim was to show you how easy it is to use up your scraps. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.